Hey everybody, this is Modern Refugee. I'm out here in my shop here today, and I wanted to show you guys something that I seen a lot when I was a kid. The old timers, as I affectionately call them, used everything, and even to this day, when you go to sales and stuff around here, you know, you'll find jars of buttons and nuts and bolts and that kind of stuff that was left over from that era where people just didn't throw anything out. And this is one of those things that was fairly common. And what it was is the old timers, when they had cans like this, they would never ever throw these cans out. They would take these cans and they would turn them into little buckets and little pails that they would use for literally everything, from picking berries to collecting eggs to putting grain in here to feed the chickens to hold kindling behind the wood stove. These things were used all over the place, and I seen many different variations of these when I was a kid growing up. And it goes back to, too, if there was ever a collapse or a really bad economic depression, people would have to go back to using what is available, and this is a perfect example of that. And there were several different ways that they made these. They would make them with cord. One of the cords that they would use a lot would be old clothesline, and I don't really have any old clothesline, so I use paracord to kind of demonstrate that. And another thing that they would use would be baler twine. Most of these things took place on the farm, so baler twine for baling hay and straw was a really common thing, and every farm had multiple rolls of baler twine laying around. So I'm going to take a real quick second here and show you guys how they went about making one of these. You could certainly drill a hole in one of these cans, but more likely than not, the old timers, they would have just took a 16 penny nail like I got right here, and they would have just took a hammer and they would have knocked a hole in these cans. And all they would have done is they wouldn't have done it on the seam. They would have done it off the seam, so about in here. They would lay the nail in down about a half an inch. Now when they would do this, they would always do it from the inside out, and that way the burr, like on this can here, the burr is always on the outside, and that way when you'd reach in to either put your berries in or pick eggs or take something out, you wouldn't catch yourself on that burr. So the burr was always on the outside when they would do this. It wouldn't be as important if you were drilling a hole in it. But anyway, they would take their nail, they would set it there, they would take a good stiff hammer with a block of wood or on the workbench like I got here, and they would knock a hole in it just like that. And then they would rotate it over, and there was no measuring involved in anything like this. They would just kind of estimate where that hole was, and they would line it up with the opposite side like I'm doing right here. Wants to roll on you, you just kind of bring it back and reposition it, and again just take your hammer and drive that through. Then when you come up, set it up, you'll take your nail, go back through it, and you'll widen this hole out. Now for this one here, I'm going to put a metal handle in this with some stiff wire that I got. Wire was another thing, either coated or non-coated would have been something that they would have used, or something that they would have scavenged from something else. And I got a piece of wire right here, and what they would do is they would just turn a little L-shaped piece on the bottom of this, and I'm going to do this here in my vise. And again, you just want to estimate it. You want to leave enough on to bend it up when we're done, so I'm going to just take this, put it in my vise like so, and then I'm just going to bend this back. Kind of get an idea about how long that is, and then we're going to do the same thing on this side. Again, no measuring is needed. It's just something that you would eyeball. Bend it over again. You're going to have something that looks like this, and then all this does is going to fit inside those holes that we made, just like that. And then you're going to take pliers. I got my channel locks here. Open it up a little bit, and all you're going to do little hand strength there, and you're going to bend that up into a loop. like so. Now you got a handle that moves with you. And that's how they would do a metal handle with wire. Like I said, this is some stiffer wire here, but I've seen it with different variations of wire, and the same thing with baler twine. Now this right here, I've already got the holes in it, and I got the baler twine looped through. Now all you do is you bring your end up here, kind of center it. Now you're going to want to double it, and this is going to determine how long that your handle is. So you're going to double it like so, and all you're going to do is you're going to tie an overhand knot in the top like so. So you got yourself a handle. Then you just take your pocket knife or whatever knife that you have, and you cut the tail off. And you can see there, baler twine is pretty tough stuff, so it's not anything that's going to wear out. And even if it does wear out, you just grab yourself another piece of twine, and you have yourself a little pail like this that you can collect or hang up somewhere to hold something, whatever you need it for. A little water, this will hold water, so you know you could put water in here to go water your herb garden or whatever that you needed. Just something to use these old cans for. And like I said, something I seen a lot when I was a kid, of different sizes. I seen cans as small as this made into these little pails for different projects and different things. But anyway, this is Modern Refugee. I appreciate all my subscribers out there. Hope you guys got a little information, a little entertainment out of this kind of old-time scavenging skill here, making pails out of these old cans. But you guys have a good day.